Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here. My name is Barbara. If you're new to my channel, I live in Tennessee in zone 7B, and today I'm excited because this is the first day for me of seed starting for the Summer Garden 2025. I am so excited. This is one of my, now it's exhausting, but it is one of my favorite times because just like that, y'all, it is time to start thinking, daydreaming, and planning for the summer 2025 garden. So if you are going to be planting a garden this summer, I would love to know. Put yes down in the comments. Let me know what state you're coming in from if you're brand new to my channel. And I want you to go ahead and subscribe in faith, because trust me, you're going to want to follow along for the journey. So what I am doing is a seed starting challenge. That's right, a seed starting weekly challenge. So I did this last year, but I didn't call it a challenge. It was just me starting seeds every single week. So let me explain to you what's going to happen over the next 12 weeks. So first of all, my estimated last frost date is April the 20th. And so literally I have counted back, and I am starting at the 12-week mark of what I'm going to be planting out for the summer garden. If you have not seen my previous video, I have done a couple of videos preparing and leading up to this very event right here. So there is a video where I talked about how to know when to start your seeds, because timing is everything. Many people start their seeds way too early, and then they have troubles with their plants being stressed out, being root bound, and all the things. So for example, if you're in my zone, in zone 7, A or B, and you're already starting tomatoes, you are too early, right? You are too early. There are certain things that you need to be starting at the appropriate time. So right now we are sitting at around 11 weeks before my estimated last frost date. So if you are in a different zone, then your 11-week mark may have already passed, or you may not have come to it yet. So just be aware that as I'm doing this seed starting weekly challenge, remember what zone I'm in. And so you may be before me or behind me, but the content is going to be the same. Whatever I'm planting at 12 and 11 weeks before the last frost date are the same things that you should be planting at 12 and 11 weeks before last frost date. If that if that crop grows in your area and you have the climate for it, it is the exact same thing. Okay, so let me just put that disclaimer out there first. Now, the reason why I'm calling this a challenge is because I want you to do it with me. Okay, so every single week from now until April the 20th, I will be starting seeds for that week. And so I did this last year. It went over very well. I was not going to do it again this year, meaning I wasn't going to video it this year, but you guys have asked for me to do it again. So I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, one more time this year. And so I want you to tune in every single week. And so what will happen is today we're going to plant seeds. And today we're actually going to plant seeds that are 12 weeks and 11 weeks before the last frost date. And the reason why is because I was out of town all of last week, which was my 12 weeks. So I'm actually going to be playing catch up, so to speak, and doing the 12-week mark and the 11-week mark. Also, if you don't know what seeds to start when, I encourage you to go to our shop and get the seed starting and planting calculator. It is $6.95, and all you do is you put in your last frost date, and it will automatically tell you what to plant and when. So if you need a resource like that, again, it's $6.95. It's an instant digital download. It's an Excel spreadsheet. Now, if you are not tech savvy, that might not be for you, okay? If you are not tech savvy, it may not be for you. It's not hard, but if you struggle with computers and things like that, then this may not be the tool for you. You may want to go to another resource like a farmer's almanac that is not going to be necessarily digital and customizable, but it at least will get you the information that you need. Okay, so today I'm outside. We are going to go in the tunnel, but today, y'all, it's February and it's a beautiful day. It is 68 degrees, y'all. The wind is blowing, the sun is shining, and it's hot in the tunnel. So I'm going to do as much of this video out here before we have to head in and do our seeds. And I was telling my husband I need a table out here so that I can just start my seeds outside. When I tell you it feels amazing, it feels amazing. But in there, it is hot, even though I have everything open. And y'all, I'm fighting wasp already. Wasp and bees are already in the tunnel because they done looked outside and like, it's warm. I guess it's my time. No, ma'am. No, sir. It's not your time just yet. Can you please wait to June? But they're not hearing me. They are not hearing me. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to be starting today. Now, we're going to be starting 6 crops today. And one of the things that's really important, again, I'm doing a little teaching on the front end. We're going to get to the seeds, but I want to make sure that you understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so that way you can replicate this wherever you are. So we are starting 6 crops today: parsley, thyme, oregano, lavender, eucalyptus, and celery. Okay, so when you look at the back of a seed packet, or go to the Farmer's Almanac, or go to my calculator, right, there are certain things that's going to say you can start it between 10 to 12 weeks before the last frost date. That means you can do it at week 10, week 11, or week 12. So for example, when I said I am going to be playing catch up and I'm going to do weeks 12 and 11, I'm still within boundaries or guidelines, right? Because I can start those things at either 10, 11, or 12. I just choose to start a lot of those ideally at 12 weeks because I know that it takes a while to germinate, and sometimes I don't have the best germination rate. So let's talk about what the things I am planting, starting today. So 2 of the crops that I'm doing today are lavender and eucalyptus. They have been in my freezer. They might be baking now because I got them in a tunnel, but they have been in my freezer because they do better with cold stratification, or what's the other word? Vernalization. Okay, all that means is that it benefits from being cold first and then going into warm soil. What happens is it's almost like you trick the seed, for lack of a better term, when it's been in the freezer, and then when you put it in warm soil and it comes out of the cold temperature, it will germinate quicker, thinking that, oh, it's spring, it's summer, I need to break forth. Versus if you just leave it in a packet in your house, it is not going to germinate as fast. Now, it will still germinate if you don't have it in the freezer or the refrigerator. Let me repeat. It will still germinate if you don't have it in the freezer or the fridge. This just helps it to go quicker, okay? And last year, it was last year and the year before that, I did a test. And if you want to go back and watch the video, just go back and watch last year's Seed Starting Weekly Challenge at week 12 or week 11, one of those. And I did a test. I had lavender that I started that had been in the freezer, and I had lavender that had not been in the freezer, and the one in the freezer germinated about 5 to 6 days earlier than the other one. The other one still germinated, it just took a while. Okay, eucalyptus is the same way. It can take a while to germinate. Y'all, people are always amazed when they come to my tunnel because I have eucalyptus in my tunnel. One is 4 years old. It was literally 4 years ago when I first started gardening. I did some eucalyptus seeds and they germinated, and it's still in my tunnel to today. People say I have never been able to get it to germinate. It will germinate. It just takes time. And I think a lot of people give up before it happens, but it can take anywhere from 10 to 14 days to germinate. So y'all, let's head in the tunnel. Let's get our crops. Let's get set up, and let's get our first seed starting done. If you have questions, please put them down below. Okay, y'all, I am filling up my trays with some potting mix. On this video, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail just because it's the first one. After that, on every weekly seed starting video, I'm not going to go into this much detail about necessarily what I'm using, just because you can always refer back to this one, and I've talked about it many times. Okay guys, so you saw me, I filled up the trays with potting soil, I watered it, and then I've already started making my labels and kind of mapping out how many seeds I'm going to do of each one. But first, let's talk about when you're starting seeds, what to start your seeds in case you are new to starting seeds. And I hope that this challenge inspires you and encourages you to just start, to just try. If you follow along with me, I will take you step by step by the hand. Now, I'm contemplating doing a seed starting workshop next month. This month is garden planning. Let me know if you are coming to the garden planning workshop. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the link in my bio. And basically, I'm doing a virtual online class helping you plan your garden spaces for 2025. But I thought about doing a seed starting workshop because in that workshop, I can go into more detail about how to actually start seeds. In this weekly challenge, I will not be going into a deep dive of how to start seeds. I'll be basically sharing with you what seeds to start when, and walking you through me starting them, and then showing you the progress from week to week of how the seeds are doing, and doing any type of corrections that we need to do. But when it comes to starting your seeds, you want to make sure that you are using the right medium to start your seeds in terms of a seed starting mix, potting mix, or something like that. So many people who are new will go and buy a seed starting mix. It is labeled seed starting mix. You can get it at the nursery, Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply. They have it everywhere. And that seed starting mix is very light and fluffy. So it's easy for the seeds to come up and germinate through the soil. That is why a lot of people like to use it. Now, for me, because I am starting over 1,000 seeds, it is not economical for me to buy seed starting mix. It usually comes in a very small quantity, and I would have to buy tons and tons and tons of it. So I did use that the first time that I started seeds. Then I transitioned to a potting soil, and I used Happy Frog or Bacto. Those are two premium brands, Bacto, Happy Frog, and then also there is one by, I always forget the name, it's a blue and white bag. I think it's by Espoma. I will try to find the picture and put it up here because I cannot remember the name. It's Ocean something. Anyway, those are the only 3 potting soil mixes that I typically use to start seeds that I have gotten really great results from. But last year, I started making my own potting soil mix. One, just because it's more economical for me. I have a whole video that talked about how to start your own potting soil mix. It is very, very simple, very, very easy. So if you are growing at scale and you are starting lots and lots of plants, it is more economical to do that than to keep buying bags and bags of soil. Okay, so what you saw me putting in here was my own potting soil that I made up myself. Okay, so in terms of what we're going to start today, we're going to do eucalyptus, and I have 2 different kinds of eucalyptus. I am doing a small leaf gum, and then I'm going to do a silver plate eucalyptus, which is what I have in my tunnel right now. I'm going to start 12 plants, and we're going to see how they do. Now, I bought these from Urban Farmer, and they do put the germination rate on their products. So for the silver plate, it's 90%, and on the small leaf gum, it's 85%. So I will definitely double seed when it comes to the small leaf gum, and we will see, you know, kind of what happens. I'm also going to do celery. And then the celery variety I have is Utah tall celery. Last year was the very first time that I actually grew celery, like from seed, had successful celery. It is the first time ever. And so let's see if we can duplicate and do that again this year. And then I'm doing lavender. Let me see what lavender I'm doing. I am doing, now here's the goal, is that this year I really want to harvest my lavender. I have grown lavender for the past 3 years, but I have never harvested it because either I wait to the last minute. I don't know when to harvest. So I really got to do some deep, some research, some Googling, some watching to see when you're supposed to harvest lavender. And I actually have lavender planted in front of my house, and it was really, really big and beautiful. I think it's supposed to come back. But I want to make, you know, using some like lavender oil, because I buy lavender essential oil all the time. And I actually put it in one of the products that we make. The Comfrey Salve has lavender oil in it, so if I can just use my own, that's one less thing I gotta buy. But let me know if you're a lavender expert, and let me know all the things. Okay, I keep growing it, and it does, I mean, it's there but I haven't harvested, which is a shame. But these are the 2 kinds I have. I have an oregano and one called torch blue. So we're gonna do 6 of each on this. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna try rosemary for the first time, parsley, oregano, and thyme. So let me go ahead and get started seeding, and then I'm gonna bring you back, and then let's talk a little bit about the ones that I'm doing for the first time, like the rosemary, and then I also want to talk about parsley. So I'm gonna go ahead and seed this really quickly, and I'll bring you back. Okay, guys, before I do this last one, I want to show you this. This is oregano. If you can see, the reason why I'm showing you this is because everything that I've sowed today, the seeds are really, really tiny. So I am heavy seeding most of these just because, one, it's hard to pick up individually. Now, some people will wet the end of a toothpick and they will pick up each individual seed and do it that way. I've never done it that way before. You can do it that way, but the only reason I don't do it is just because I don't have toothpicks out here. And by the time I think about it, I'm not trying to go find toothpicks to do it. That's the only reason I don't do it. And just because I have a lot of seed, and these for me traditionally have been hard to grow. So it doesn't bother me to sow it heavily because I'm just wanting something to germinate. But if you're very particular and you want to do one seed each and don't want a heavy seed, then certainly, and if that's worked for you, then certainly you can do that. But I just wanted to show you, like, these are like really, really tiny. These are oregano seeds and they are extremely tiny. So this is the last block that I have. And I am just going to sprinkle some on top. And because these seeds are so tiny, I am not going to cover them with a lot of soil. Some of these will just germinate by the light, but I may put a light layer of soil and then a light layer of vermiculite on there. So all seeds have been sown. We have our first tray for 2025. We did 72 because each of these are a six cell tray, and these are by far my favorite. Let me show you what one looks like. This is by far my favorite tray to sow in. If you are starting off with your seed starting journey, you'll see as we go throughout the weeks that I'm going to start different things in different containers. I will do soil blocks. I will do these. I will do 2.5-inch cups. And there's a reason. I'm not just happenstance. I'm not just picking it out of thin air. There's a reason why I'm picking each one in a particular one. Now, this one, if I would have thought about it, I probably would have done soil blocks, but I didn't think about it because, you know, we just getting started. So the brain is still working up, you know, warming up to the idea. But I use these. These are from Epic Gardener. I do have a code down in my description below. I think you get 5% off. By far my number one, if you want a 6-cell tray, this is durable, it's dependable. You cannot bend it, you cannot break it, and these can also go in the top rack of your dishwasher. So definitely grab you some of these. 12 fit on a 10-20 tray, so that way you have 72. Did I count that right? 1, 2, yeah, 12. Yeah, 12 times 6, 72. So 72 seeds or seed pockets started. Just like that. This is our first. Now, the reason why I said I would have done soil blocks is because with soil blocks, I probably could have gotten way more on a tray. And because these typically are going to be harder, at least they're harder for me to germinate. All of these things that I just did, I don't necessarily have easy germination. So for example, eucalyptus, I have beautiful, as you can see, there's a eucalyptus right behind me. And then you can't see, but there's one, a baby one, like growing up right in the back of it. And then I have that one over there. So even though I have been successful with growing eucalyptus from seed, I would say if I started 10 plants each season, I probably germinated 2, no more than 3. So that's like 30% germination, right? And so it has not been it has not been easy for me to get it to germinate, meaning everyone germinates. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I did, and actually I did a one more eucalyptus. I forgot I had another packet called baby blue eucalyptus. So I have done actually 18 eucalyptus, 6 each, 6 silver plate, 6 small leaf gum, and then 6 baby blue eucalyptus. If all 18 of these germinate, am I going to keep all of these? No, I'm going to sell the eucalyptus plants. And so I started last year selling my extra plant starts. I will do that again this year. Eucalyptus is hard to find as a plant. I'm telling you, every time somebody walks in my tunnel, they're amazed, like, oh my goodness, you have eucalyptus. I'm like, yep, I got eucalyptus, got plenty of it. Got plenty of it. So I definitely don't need a ton, and I will keep 1 or 2 for myself. And what I'm going to do next time is that I'm not going to put it in my raised bed. I'm actually going to do a big pot, because as you can see right here, this eucalyptus is tall, and I need to cut it back some because it's up against my plastic, and I want to make sure that it doesn't tear my plastic. But we've cut it. I mean, we've harvested, I mean, a ton, like all the time. All the time. It doesn't look like it, but we do. So eucalyptus has been hard for me. Celery has been hard for me. Lavender has been hard for me. Parsley, I have not been successful with growing parsley from seed yet. So this is probably try number 4. This is my fifth summer growing. So we're going to try again. So I end up usually just buying a transplant of parsley, but I'm going to keep on trying because why not? So I only started 6 sales. Rosemary, I've never done before, so I cannot wait to see if that works. And then thyme, I've had so-so. Oregano, I've usually done pretty well with oregano. That's been an easy germination for me. So let me know, guys, if you are planting any of these things for your summer garden. Let me know, and let me know what your luck has been with any of these. And if you have any tips, then put them down for me and everybody else below. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mist it. So when I did the water before, I kind of had it on full strength because I was just wetting the soil. And I always try to wet my soil ahead of time. So that way on this end, after I've seeded, I can just go by with a mist as to not disturb the seed. That's why I don't want it on full blast. And then I will actually cover it with some vermiculite. Y'all, this one bag of vermiculite, this is the same bag I had last year. You can see I still got this much left. I need to order me another bag because that's not going to do it. Obviously, I used up 3/4 of the bag, but this worked out really good for me last year. The vermiculite helps to keep gnats away, and it helps to retain moisture in your seed. So I need to order me some more of that as well. So I'm going to mist it. Cover it with some vermiculite, and then we're done. I'm going to actually, I was contemplating leaving these out here just because the temperature is so nice this week, but because there is such fluctuation in temperature, like 40s at night and then it's like 70 in the daytime, I'm gonna go ahead and my bag dropped. I'm gonna go ahead and take these in the house, but that's the only reason. If the temperature was a little bit more consistent, I would just leave it out here for the week because it's gonna be nice and pleasant. But I'll go ahead and take it in the house and we'll see. So what will happen next week is that next week we will be starting the seeds that are 10 weeks before the last frost date for my zone, which is 7B. And I will show you progress from this seed. So every week I will start seeds, and the challenge is for you to start seeds every single week. I want to know in the comments if you're with me, if you're going to be right along, trekking along with me. And then I will also show you the weeks prior progress so that you can see how the seeds are looking, if they're germinating, if we have issues, and we'll just kind of course correct together. Now, most of these are going to take at a minimum probably 7 to 10 days. A lot of these may take 10 to 14 days, but we'll check in next week and see if we have any germination. If not, we're going to keep on trucking and we'll plant the next week's seed. So I hope that you guys are excited for this journey, this weekly seed starting. Make sure that you tell a neighbor, tell a friend, anybody who is interested in gardening and wants to learn how to start their own seeds. This is the place to be. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you have not already subscribed. And remember, this is a journey. Let's grow together. See you next time, friend.